Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to the Horoscope 101 channel. It's Saturday, so it's my day. Okay, the movie, this is Guilty Pleasure Week. Okay, so the movie that I'll be reviewing for Guilty Pleasure Week on the Horoscope 101 channel is a remake, actually, of a 1959 film. This is 1999's House on Haunted Hill. There it goes, starring Geoffrey Rush, Famke Janssen, Taye Diggs, Ali Larter. I think who else is in this? What's this? The guy, the glasses. Peter Gallagher, Chris Kattan, Bridget Wilson, Jeffrey Combs is in this also. Basically, this is a remake of the 1959 movie with Vincent Price. That came out in 1959. I have that movie on on VHS tape somewhere in that pile over there. But the reason this is a guilty pleasure to me is the 1959 movie with Vincent Price I saw on AMC, and that's where I taped it off years ago, and it was just a really fun movie, basically, where Vincent Price, him and his wife, they rent out a supposedly haunted house, and they offer 5 random strangers $10,000 to spend the night, and of course, then wacky things happening, like ghosts and everything else, and murder and all kinds of wacky things happen in the house and stuff. And it's filmed in black and white in 1959, and directed by, of course, legendary William Castle, who was like a master showman and stuff. And he'd have all these elaborate productions when he filmed, when he filmed his movies and have them showing it. He'd set up all these wacky things to give the audience an extra thrill. And it's like a classic, House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. It's a very good movie. Just so when the remake came out, I don't think it did too well at the box office. But the reason it's a guilty pleasure to me is because I really, really like this movie. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm not going to try to spoil it too much, but I'm going to give you some of the basic gist of this remake. They change it around in this movie. In this movie, Geoffrey Rush is Stephen A. Price, I believe that's his name. Sort of, I guess, a tribute to Vincent Price. And he's married to Famke Janssen. And just like the original movie, they have, that basically the husband and wife in the movie can't stand each other. Okay, and he's basically hosting a party. Well, she's, they rent this house, this former asylum. They rented. It used to be an asylum, and they rented it, and he rented basically to host his birthday party for his wife. Famke Janssen's character, who's his wife, and like I said, they basically can't stand each other, just like the original. Okay, they can't stand each other, and Famke Janssen's character is called Evelyn, and Stephen Price is played by Geoffrey Rush. Okay, and then you have Taye Diggs, and like I said, in this movie too, they also invite 5 people. And also you have the caretaker of the house, whose family basically used to, who basically built the house, or the ex-asylum. You have Chris Kattan playing Watson Pritchard. And then you have 5 other people. Now, this movie is more supernatural, I think, a lot more than the 1959 movie is. This one is more straightforward, wacky things are happening that have more of a supernatural bent to them in this one. And also, the reason this is a guilty pleasure to me, I know this movie didn't get the greatest reviews, and it didn't make that much at the box office. It pretty much, I think, didn't. I don't even know if it made, but I think it was the budget's like $20 million. Maybe it made its budget back, but it didn't make that much money. But anyway, the reason it's a guilty pleasure to me is the performances, specifically Geoffrey Rush and Famke Janssen. I think they're absolutely hilarious, frightening, and just they give it their all, and I absolutely love the performances by Geoffrey Rush and Famke Janssen, who play this, the bickering couple who really basically can't stand each other. Okay, and basically, basically, from the past, they basically have done things to each other, and they banter back and forth, and it's so entertaining. The banter. Geoffrey Rush is just absolutely fantastic in this movie. Him, and like I said, and Famke Janssen plays there's another word to say it. She plays a supreme bitch, okay, who can't stand her husband and stuff, and it's just a great relationship to watch unfold when you see it. And the basic premise of the other movie is the same thing. They get 5 people get invited to this house, but of course, this being 1999, instead of $10,000 like in the original movie, this movie they get offered not thousand, they get offered $1 million to spend the night in this asylum where people have died, of course, and it's of course at night and everything's spooky and stuff. So, and then like I said, there's a lot of freaky stuff that goes on basically with these people trying to stay the night that I don't want to spoil. I'd rather you watch it and just enjoy. I absolutely, like I said, I really, really like this movie. And like I said, and mainly because those great performances by Geoffrey Rush and Famke Janssen, they play the part to the hilt, and they're fantastic. Like I said, and you do get decent support from Chris Kattan, who plays the Wilson Pritchard, I think that's his name. The owner, not the owner. He's like the relative of one of the people that helped build it. Watson Pritchard, that's his name. Anyway, and Chris Kattan's really good too. Then you have Ali Larter, Peter Gallagher, Taye Diggs, and also Jeffrey Combs is in this movie also. I don't want to spoil it by telling you what his part is, okay? But he's in the movie and he makes an impression, okay? And let me just leave it at that. But definitely a guilty pleasure to me, House on Haunted Hill. This is a snapper case, okay? Because I remember going to see this in the movie theater and liking it. And of course, okay, it's in the player, the DVD. But there you go, and there you go. Like I said, Geoffrey Rush is just great. Him and Famke Janssen, just like a match made in hell or heaven. Either way. Anyway, like I said, I just really love it. And there's also supposed to be a direct-to-DVD movie that's called, I think, Return to House on Haunted Hill, which doesn't have any of the people, of course, that were in this movie are not in that movie. Even the persons that you think would be in it are not in it. Okay, I think there's only one cast member that was in this movie that's in the Return to House on Haunted Hill, which is a direct DVD movie, which I never seen, so I can't comment on this. But this one definitely is a guilty pleasure for me. Just a really underrated movie in my opinion, and you just watch this for Geoffrey Rush and Famke Janssen. For their performances alone, it's totally worth it because they're absolutely great together. Their back and forth is just fantastic. And then of course you have the scares and stuff that happen in this movie, which are really, like I said, this one is more of a supernatural experience in this one than I think in the 1959 version. Okay, and if you've seen both, you know what I mean by that. Okay, but I should definitely get House on Haunted Hill also. I wish that was on Blu-ray, but I can get that on DVD. I think I have that. Like I said, I have it taped on VHS. House on Haunted Hill, the 1959 version. Okay, but I like that. I like that one mainly because of Vincent Price too. He's absolutely great in that. But this one, Geoffrey Rush, Famke Janssen. I know I said it before. I'll say it again. They're fantastic in this movie. Their performances alone are totally worth getting this movie for that. Okay, so let me know what you think if you've seen this. Okay, feel free to leave your comments down below. And this is Trey Passer for the Horoscope 101 channel saying so long and good night.